Hello and welcome to our comprehensive series on Jenkins. My name is Hyder Abbas. I'm excited to guide you through this journey to learn one of the most popular automation tool in the world of DevOps. We will understand what is Jenkins, why it is so important. We will also walk you through the build and deployment process of an application. What are the limitations and problems associated with manual build and deployment process? We will understand pipeline creation, CI/CD concepts, and see how Jenkins will facilitate them. If you are with me on this journey till the end with complete focus, I am sure you will have a good hold on the concept of Jenkins and you will be able to use Jenkins automation tool or automation server in your projects without any problem. Now let's understand what is Jenkins. To start with, Jenkins is free and open source automation server or a tool. Since it is free, in order to work with Jenkins, in order to use Jenkins, you need not to buy any license, you need not to pay for it. And also Jenkins is developed using Java language. So in order to work with Jenkins, you need to install Java also. Though the configuration and the installation of Jenkins are beginner friendly, which I'll be guiding you moving forward. The most important part here is Jenkins is used to automate the build and deployment process of an application, also to implement CI/CD concepts, continuous integration and continuous deployment concept. So before we understand what problem Jenkins is trying to solve, we need to understand what is build and deployment process of an application, what are the problems and limitations associated with manual build and deployment process. Then we will understand how Jenkins can facilitate them and how Jenkins can automate them to make our workflow efficient and reliable. Now let's first understand what happens in software development, what exactly build and deployment process, and how Jenkins will help us to facilitate this process. Now let's get into this build and deployment process and learn everything from the scratch and step by step. Software development is all about two main steps. Number one, writing a code. Number two, building and deploying it. Once development team done writing the code, they will be pushing into the repositories such as GitHub or Bitbucket. That's when the build and deployment process comes in. The ops teams comes in. The first step which they will follow to build and deploy your application is to take the latest source code from the repositories such as GitHub. The next step would be to compile the project source code, and then they will execute the unit test cases if any, and then they will perform the code review using Sonar Cube, and then they will package the application into jar or var file, and finally they will deploy the application by taking the Docker image and using the Kubernetes. The application will be deployed. So basically the last step is to deploy this application. Now when I'm talking about deploying the application in the real-time scenario, the application will not be deployed directly into the production environment. It will go through multiple environment. We have something called as dev environment, then we have SIT QA environment, then we also have, if there are any clients, UAT user acceptance testing environment or pilot environment, and then goes to the production environment. Production environment, I am referring application will be deployed in such an environment where the application will be live for all the end users. Anyone who would like to use the application, they can use it. But before directly deploying in the application in the live environment, which is the production environment, application will also go through multiple other environment. That means application will not directly will be deployed onto the production environment. First, it will be deployed onto the dev environment where development team will perform the integration testing and will check if application is working as per their expectations. Then comes the testing QA environment where the testing team, quality assurance team, will perform the functional testing and make sure that the application is working as per the expectation. And also there might be the UAT also, where if there is a client, they will also perform the testing of the application. That application will be deployed into UAT environment also. In some cases, before we go live, we also have a pilot environment. It's a last penultimate environment where the application will be deployed and check if everything is working fine. And that's where the prod environment, which is production environment, comes into picture, where our application is live. Now, what is the problem in this build and deployment process? If you do this manually, suppose there is any change in the code, any new change developer has made and committed into the repository, then again all these steps the ops team has to follow. Again, they have to collect the latest source code. Again, they have to compile the project source code. Again, they have to execute the unit test case. Again, they have to perform the code review using the Sonar Cube. Again, they have to package the application. Again, they have to create the Docker image and using the Kubernetes, or in other words, they have to deploy the application in all this environment once again. Any small change in the code, developer has made any changes and committed to the repository, all this build and deployment process into the different environments the ops teams has to do. And if they are doing a lot of times, if there are a lot of changes in the code, every time developers commit a new change, this process has to be followed multiple times. It is a time consuming process and also the error prone. If you do this again and again multiple times, there is a possibility of error in the application or in the entire process. And that's where one of the most popular automation tool comes into picture to automate this entire process of build and deployment. What happens if you use this tool? The tool is none other than the Jenkins, which is also called as automation server. So if you use Jenkins, how it will automate the entire process and what Jenkins will do, we will try to understand. But I hope now you got to know what exactly this build and deployment is and what is the problem associated if this process, if these steps will be followed manually by the ops teams. Now we will understand how Jenkins will resolve this problem and how we can use Jenkins to automate this process. Now we have seen all the major steps involved in the build and deployment process of an application. We need to configure this entire process into the Jenkins. So basically in Jenkins, we are going to create jobs in order to automate the build and deployment process. Once developers done writing the code, they will be pushing into the repository such as GitHub. Jenkins will start its job. Jenkins will collect the latest code from the GitHub repository. Jenkins will communicate with the Maven for the build process. Jenkins will make sure that the entire source code is compiled. Jenkins will communicate with the Sonar Cube in order to review the code. Jenkins will communicate with the Docker to get the Docker image. Jenkins will communicate with the Tomcat for the server. Jenkins will communicate with the Kubernetes to deploy the application. Whatever steps we have seen, we have done manually, or we will usually do manually. All of these entire steps, or you can say the entire process, will be automated. With just few clicks, Jenkins will do on behalf of us. We need not to do anything. Once we are done pushing the code into the repository, Jenkins only will take the code from the repository. Jenkins will communicate with the Maven, will communicate with the Sonar Cube for the code review. Jenkins will communicate with the Docker, Kubernetes, and make sure that the entire build and deployment process is smooth and entire thing is automated. You might have also heard of two of the important terminologies in the DevOps world, which is CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, or you can say continuous delivery. So basically, continuous integration means whenever we merge the code change into the repository, we push the code, whatever new code we have added, immediately Jenkins should take that and start the build process. Jenkins should compile the entire source code. Jenkins should review the source code. Jenkins should package the entire code whatever we have, and then continuous deployment comes into picture. So basically, once you push the new code to the repository, Jenkins will take care of integration part. Jenkins will take care of deployment part. Immediately Jenkins will integrate, Jenkins will deploy your application into the servers. So this process we also call it as continuous integration and continuous deployment. Continuous integration, Jenkins taking the code, compiling the code, reviewing the code, and packaging the code. Continuous deployment, communicating with the Docker, getting the Docker image, communicating with the Kubernetes to automate the deployment process. So CI/CD, basically build and deployment process which is automated, which is performed by Jenkins. So basically Jenkins is open source automation server which is used to automate all sort of tasks related to building, testing and deploying, or you can say delivering the application. There's an option here, generic Java package .war file. I would like to just click on this. If I click on this, you can see it will start to download, and I would like to just save this. It is downloaded successfully, which you can see here. I would like to open show on in folder. I would like to click on this, and it will redirect to the downloads page where you can see Jenkins is available. After which I would like to open the command prompt and make sure that Java is installed in order to work with the Jenkins. I have opened the command prompt here, and I would like to search for Java. I'll say here Java hyphen version. Okay, Java hyphen version. You can see I have Java 21. Any Java which is above 8 is fine. Try to install Java 17, 21, or the latest one, which is 23. After which I would like to just take this file here, jenkins.war file, and I would like to just add it here. Before I add, I would like to do one thing. I have to just run one command here, Java hyphen jar space, and whatever file is there, I would like to keep it here. If not, you can open this particular command prompt in the location where this jenkins.war file is present. From there you can just run this java hyphen jar command. I would like to just hit the enter key here. You can see there will be a new folder which is created, a home page which is created for this Jenkins. You can see here users najaf downloads jenkins.war, and the web root is c users najaf.jenkins var. Okay, and you can see very important here, there is one password given which you have to maybe copy and keep it in any of the local notepad or text, or you can just find that. If you could forget to do that, you can just go to the C in your C drive users, and whatever address is being shown in your local computer, you can find that there also. If you forget to take it from here, you can just get that from there. Okay, and now I would like to just keep it ready here locally in my system. If you want, you can just directly go to the path which is specified here, which you can see here, and you can get this password. And usually Jenkins will be available in the localhost 8080 port number. To access this, I would like to open the browser. I have gone to localhost 8080. Now you will be able to access this, and here is where administrator password which we have shown there, you have to get it from there and paste it here. After which I would like to click on continue, and then it will redirect to this page wherein you have an option, select the plugins to install. I would suggest you to go with the installed suggested plugins. Later, if you have not installed also, later once Jenkins is installed, you can customize and add the required plugins. That should not be a matter of concern, but I would suggest you to go with installed suggested plugins, and then it will redirect to this page, and here it will take some time for the installation. Okay, it will take some time. By chance, if some of the plugins are not installed, there will be an option to retry. You can click on that retry option. Even otherwise, no problem, you can go ahead with the installation. Later, based on the need, based on the Jenkins you're using for, you can install the required plugins. Okay, so it will take some time. Allow me that time here. After installing the required plugins, automatically it will redirect to this page. If some of them are failing, you'll have an option to retry or continue without install. You can just continue or you can just retry, and then you may have to set the username and password. Let me just set here. Make sure that you remember. Future, if there is any problem, you can just have authority to get the things back. Okay, I would like to just give here. After which you can just click on save and continue. Again, username must contain only alphanumeric characters. I would like to just remove the space which we have here, and I would like to click on save and continue. And then you can see here instance configuration. By default it is in 8080. Keep it as it is. I would like to click on save and finish. Let me just click on that, and you can see start using Jenkins. I would like to click on this, and you'll be redirected to this page. Based on the time when you are installing this, the UI might look different, but you have successfully able to install here. And then in upcoming videos, we will have a walkthrough of this dashboard, and we will work with Jenkins. Hey everyone, this is Hyder Abbas. In the previous video, we have installed Jenkins successfully. Now let's take a quick look at the Jenkins UI. This is just an overview. All the options which we are going to see here, we will explore them practically also once we start to work with Jenkins. Fine. And you can see here, once you are in, you can see at the top right side the username. Also there is an option of logout, and also you can see on the left hand side you will find some options here. And if you just click on the new option, okay, new item, if you just click on the new item, okay, once this is loaded, you will see that you can create a new jobs here. There are different types of jobs which you can create here, such as the freestyle jobs, pipelines, or you can say multi-branch pipelines, depending on the need of the project. Okay, just you have to give the job name and you are ready to get started. And we will do that practically also, as I have told earlier. It is just an overview. Fine. And if I just have to go back, next you can see there is an option of build history. Okay, and if you open this, since we have not created or not run any build yet, this section is empty. But once you start running the builds on Jenkins, you will be able to see all the build history here. Fine. And if I have to just go back again, there is an option here of manage Jenkins, and this is a very important section called manage Jenkins. As of now, we have not configured Jenkins, but any configuration you need to make, you will be making here, right? You'll have 4 or 5 options here: system configuration, security, then status information, troubleshooting, and we have tools and action. These are the key options you will have to work if you are going to work with the Jenkins. Now coming to the system configuration, here you can adjust the global settings and paths and configure the additional tools. All of that can be done here. And importantly, if you want to, if you need to add or remove any plugins, you'll be doing here in the plugins section, right? And if you want to add or remove any nodes agents, you can do that from here, the section of nodes. You can even set up the cloud-based agents, with the help of these sessions, right? And currently, we have installed the Jenkins. At the time of installation, you might have observed as the var file, for which you have to go to the browser by going to the local host. You may have to start at the 8080, right? And this means if I stop this var file, then Jenkins will go down. I'm accessing through the web, and it is a var file which we have installed, right? And here, if I just click on install as a Windows service, if you want to, start the Jenkins automatically when the system, reboots, I can install it as a service. Then you need not to go to the browser, which we will try to maybe explore going forward, right? And we have the other options here. And also you can see we have an option of security, right? We have a security here. If you want to control who can access Jenkins, what they can do with it, right? You will have to configure this under the global security. You can also manage the credentials. You can create, you can delete or modify the users here. And these two sections, configuration and security, they are very important for managing your Jenkins. Now let's quickly go on to some additional sections we have here. Firstly, we have a system information, which you can see here, troubleshooting, and some extra tools and action. Very often I have used the Jenkins CLI. Maybe in this series also I'll try to use, and maybe I'll try to show how to access if possible in the upcoming videos. If you need to execute the groovy script or perform any admin task for troubleshooting, you can also do it within this script console. Okay, this is the Jenkins CLI, which you can also use. Maybe I'll try to show in the upcoming videos. And if you want to maybe run any of the scripts and perform any admin task for the troubleshooting, you can do that here in the script console. Okay. Now also, apart from that, these things we will use practically also. This is just an overview. We have an option here called as my views. Okay. Now views let you create the customized views and add jobs to them. By default, there is an all view. Okay. And this folder is empty for now. And once you create the job, all jobs are shown together, but you can create multiple views, organize your jobs inside them, and we will go through it once we start practically work with it. So you need not worry much of them right now. If you want to create a new view, it will be appearing here, and these are very important for organizing your jobs very, very effectively, right? And next, very important, we have an option here called as build a queue, build queue, and build executor status. Fine. And let's say you have executed multiple builds, but you have only two executors. You can see here 0 and 2, right? And when you run a third build, it will go into the build queue. For example, if you run 10 builds and you have only two executors here, which you can see here 0 or 2 executors, fine, and 8 of them will go into the build queue. You can adjust the numbers by executors Jenkins uses by changing the settings in the manage Jenkins. You can do that here. You can manage here build executor status also, okay, by going through the manage Jenkins, where you can do these settings, right? And also there is one link here. If I have to go back, if I just have to click here maybe, okay, there is an option here called as REST API. Okay, you can see here REST API, there is a link here. Okay, if you just click on this, when you open this, the REST API, it will give you access to different types of APIs, right? XML, JSON, Python. So you can perform actions like creating the jobs, copying jobs, checking build queues, statistics, or restarting the Jenkins. The Jenkins API will also allow you to import and export and backup your Jenkins job, right? So all these things looks a little theoretical for now. It is just an overview. And once we start to work with it, once we create various projects such as Maven projects, pipelines, jobs, right, and you will have better idea on this. Fine. So thank you for being with me in this video. We'll meet again in the upcoming video, and we'll try to work with this UI which we have seen here. Thank you every one of you. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will understand how to configure the Jenkins. First, to access this dashboard, you may have to go to the localhost 8080 because we have installed, or you can say downloaded the var file here. After which you may have to log in. Once you have logged in, please go to manage Jenkins. And if you have clicked this, you have options here: system, global, configure the global settings and paths. And we have an option of tools, configure the tools. Basically, if you want to locate the path of any of the tools, Maven, Java, or Git here, you can just go with this. As of now, we are focusing on the system. Okay, system configure settings. I may have to click here, and once you click this, you will be able to see there is a path here: C drive user najaf.jenkins. It is like a default directory which is created in your local system. If you want, you can go through this. You can just copy this and open the drive, open the drive which you have. I would like to open that, and you can see on your screen, this is the default file which is created, or you can say folder which is created, wherein whenever you have created any jobs, or if you have installed any plugins, all of them will be available here, right? And whenever you create any of the jobs, all of that will be available within this jobs. As of now, we have not created any jobs. You'll not be able to find anything here. And also, if you want to configure as a Jenkins admin, you can come to this particular path and you can do the configuration as a Jenkins admin. And also there is one interesting file here called as the configuration file. Let me open this. I'll say right click. I would like to open this with some of the ID. I would like to just click on this, right click, and I would like to open this with some IDs. And if you want to do any of the configurations, okay, you can just open this file. I would like to just get this here. You can see here, this is the configuration file. Here also you can make the changes. If you want to do any of the configuration changes, you can open this file and you can do it here. Fine. And as a Jenkins admin, if you want any changes, you can come here. And one more point is, this is the default location on which this entire file, entire things have been created. If you want, you can change this default directory also. Maybe you have created so many jobs. If there is a space running out of it, if you want to add this into some other drive, D drive, E drive, you can do that. And you can have all your jobs or whatever you're creating in that different file also. This is the default location on which it is created. If you want, you can change this default home directory also. If I have to open back here, and you can see here, this is the default one. As I have told, you can change also. Also, there is a message here, system message. This message will be displayed at the top of the Jenkins main page. Whoever will try to access the Jenkins, if you want to give them a message, you can give here. It could be a plain text message. It could be, you can add the HTML tags here. You can add the links here. You can add the image here. Whatever you want, you can add logos, fine, which you want to display to everyone who is trying to access this particular Jenkins. If you want, you can use the HTML tag also. Example, I want to display something in the bold tag, okay, right? So you can use the HTML here, and whatever you want, you can just add it. Example, for an instance, I would like to add one text here, okay? This whatever message you want to add, I'll say here, this Jenkins server is for learning, okay? Any message or anything you would like to display. As of now, you can see it is the plain text. You can have the HTML also, for which I would like to go back here to maybe manage Jenkins, and I would like to open this as a new tab. And you can see here, you have to go to the security Jenkins, okay? Please click on this, and maybe there is an option here, markup formatter. Right now it is a plain text. You can make the changes. I would like to go with the safe HTML. If you want to add some link or maybe some design you want to give, you can say here save HTML, after which I would like to say apply, and after applying I would like to save also, okay? It is saved, and after saving you can now close this. It's not required. I have changed, it is a close. Now let me open that. Now again, let me just add that tag here. Whatever message I have given, let me just write that message. I have added the message here, after which I would like to just say here apply, and I would like to just save. It is also saved. Now I would like to just open this entire dashboard. I'll say right click, open in the new tab, and you can see here, this is message there here in the board. This Jenkins server is for the learner. Not just the message. If you want to add some logo, image, link, all of that you can give. Anyone who would like to access the Jenkins, they will be able to see that, right? Now I would like to just close this. You can add anything else also. Example, I'll say here maybe h1 tag. I'll say here hello aliens, right? Any message you would like to give, okay? Hello aliens. And if you want, you can preview also. You need not open every time. It will be something like this. Whatever you want, you can add it, okay? Hide the preview. And now one more thing we have is the number of executors. By default, we have seen in the last video, overview video also, it is the 2 number of executors. That means 2 builds you can run parallelly. If you want, you can increase this number. For example, I can say here, I want to run the 5 builds parallelly, okay? And if I say here 5, and if I just apply here, and you can see here, if I open this manage Jenkins, let me just open this in the new tab, and you can see here, by default, you will be in a position to see there are 5 executors. That means 5 builds you can run parallelly. You can see here, 5 executors are there. You can make the changes here. By chance, if there are 10 builds, and if you have told here 5 executors, 5 builds can run parallelly, then the other default, the other remaining 5 builds will go into the build queue, okay? And once they are done, they will be coming back to the build executors here. At a time, parallelly, you can run the 5 builds here, and maybe if there are 10, then automatically the remaining 5 will go to the build. You can make the changes. I would like to, keep it to the 5 by default, right? The next part is the label. It's like a name of the node. Usually in the general scenario, one Jenkins master will connect to the multiple slaves, or you can say, multiple agents. And for each agent, you can give the name. Going forward, you'll understand what exactly this labels is once we, move forward. Now, apart from that, one more interesting part here is just in case if you are very new to the Jenkins and if you don't know any of these things, you can just go to this question mark. Example, we have here, a quit period or maybe anything. Okay, I would like to know about the home directory. You can just help for the future home directory. If you just click on this, you will have the detailed documentation on this. There are a few ways to change the Jenkins home directory. What exactly this is. By default, this is the Jenkins home directory. You can get the information about it. Okay, an example usage. You can see computer retention check interval if you don't know, quiet period if you don't know. If you just click on this example, if I just click on this, you can see the entire documentation, and there is example also. It is also recommended. If you want to know about any of these things, you can just go to the help and you can read about it. Fine. Now, as of now, you need not to configure everything. As and when we progress further, by default, we will be configuring the required things here. Fine. And the next thing is the Jenkins URL, Jenkins location. As you can see right now, it is the local host. Right now, the Jenkins is in my own system. I'm trying to access the Jenkins from the same system. So local host is fine. Suppose Jenkins in this system, same system where I'm recording right now, in the same system. Suppose there are 3 or 4 other users from the other systems. They want to access this Jenkins, which I have right now. Can they access through the localhost? The answer is no. Localhost means if there is Jenkins in the same system and if you're trying to access that also with the same system, then no problem, right? Now, if there are other users which are not from this system, maybe they are trying to access from a different machines, then they cannot use the localhost. In that case, you can set the IP address, for which you can just write the command in the command prompt ipconfig. You will get the IP address, and that IP address in place of localhost you can mention here. Fine, I would like to just mention here IP address. If not, if you're not getting that from the command prompt, you can just open the settings. I would like to just show you here, and which you can see here. And also you can see there is an IP address here. I would like to just copy from here the same IP address I have just added here. Fine. Now after which I would like to just go and apply. And if you just apply, it will be saved. And you can see earlier you used to get one warning. You're not getting that warning anymore. All right. Apart from that, if you want, you can configure the admin email address also. And one more very important point here is which is about the extended email notification. If you just scroll down, other things by default, if it is needed going forward, we will discuss it. And the important part here is again extended email notification. At the time of installing the Jenkins, we have added the plugins of email, because of which you could able to see here. And this will come only if the email plugin has been added. At the time of installing, we had installed all the plugins which was suggested to us, and because of which we are getting this extended email notification. And going forward also, we'll see how to enable the email notification. Suppose once if there is any build failure, if there is any problem, what is the status of your jobs, if you want to know about anything and every action which is happening, if you want to get the email, then you can go and set this. And how to set this, how to enable this, we will see going forward. And here again multiple options are there. And you can see here default subject, what should be the default subject, right? And what should be the default content which has to go whenever if something happens. And also you can decide when it has to be triggered, right? And you can see here email notification, and when it has to trigger, default triggers is also very important in the email. That means when, at what moment the email has to be sent, that also you can configure. How to configure this, how to enable this, going forward we will see to it. Now I would like to just save it, and I would like to apply and save. It is successfully saved. And then again, if I have to go back, this is the part 1 of the configuration. And we have seen so far about the system. Now there is something called as configure the tools. If you want to locate any of the softwares which we have installed, you can see here we have a Git, we have JDK, and we have Gradle, we have Ant, we have Maven. Basically all these tools which are there by default or for the Java. Suppose if you want to have it this for some other programming language or some other stack, maybe for Python, then you may have to add the plugin of Python, and automatically it will come here, and then you can specify the path here. And you can see there is some error here. We will resolve it. Now, if you want to add the Java, you can just click on add the JDK. It will give you an option sometimes to install automatically. Don't do that. Just give the name here. Maybe I would like to give the name as Java Home. Okay. And Java is already installed in my machine. I would like to just add the address where I have installed. So let me just add the path here. As you can see, I have to open the program files, and then we have an option of Java and maybe Java 21. I would like to add this entire path here. Fine. Now after which, let me just close this and add this path, right? And after which there is an option of Git. By default, Git is already installed. If not, just install. It will take just 2 minutes of time to install the Git, and later you can add. Maybe by default it is not recognizing the path. You may have to specify the path where the Git is already installed. I would like to open the drive where I have installed my Git. Let me open this, and again if I have to go back here, you can see we have an option. It is for the Apache Maven. Let me do it for the Git. So we do have an option here for the Git. You can see again, you can open the program files, Git, and again I would like to open the bin, and whatever is the path, I would like to just take this path, copy from here, and before this I would like to just add this path. All right. And by default it should recognize. Since it is not recognizing, I'm just giving the path here. Fine. I would like to just save. It should work actually. And after which you can see there is no problem here. Automatically the error is gone. And again we have an option here of Maven. I have already installed the Maven. If not, it is a 2 minutes of process. You can just visit the website, and by default you can install. I would like to go with the Maven here, add the Maven, and maybe it is asking to install automatically. I don't want to install automatically. I would like to just give the name here as Maven, and then I would like to specify the path where exactly it is installed. So let me just give the entire path here. You can see I have added the path where I have installed the Maven. It is a very simple process. You can just Google Apache Maven and download option. It is a default. You can easily install that. And once it is installed, I would like to say here apply. Now, whatever is required, you can go with any other build tool also, Gradle, Ant, Maven, but all of these things which are there by default, it is for the Java. If you'd like to work for the Python, Ruby, then you have to first add the plugin of Python or Ruby, any other programming language. And similarly, you have to add the required path like the way we have added for Java, Git, and Maven. For others also, same way you may have to add the required path here. Fine. Now I have added this. This is very important step. Now I think we can create the build and we can work with it. Now let me just go back to the dashboard. And I think all the required setup is ready as of now to start with. Going forward, whatever is required, we will be adding that required plugins or whatever extra configuration we may have to do, we will add as and when required. Hello and welcome back. In this video, let's create the first job here. It will be very simple job. You can say it is a sample job just to check if Jenkins is working fine or not. We have installed the Jenkins. We have done the configuration. I would like to check if everything is fine, for which very simple job is what I would like to create. What is job? It's like a certain task which you are carrying out, set of activities you are carrying out to execute a task, a simple job. Fine. Now to create a job directly on the dashboard, you have an option of create a job. You can click this. You'll have an option to create the job here. If not, you can just go back again. On the top left side, you have an option here called as a new item. If you click on this, again it will redirect to the same page. Both of them are same. You can just click on create job or you can go to the new item. I would like to click on create job here. Now it will ask you to mention which job you'd like to create: freestyle project, pipeline, or a multi-branch pipeline, organization folder. To start with, since it is a very simple, I would like to go with the freestyle job, and I may have to specify the name here. I'll say here Jenkins first job, right? Jenkins first job is the name I have given. I would like to click as maybe freestyle job and okay. And you can see it is getting created, and there is some thing you have to add here. You can see general, description, and other information. We have a source code management. You have to specify from where you want to take the code, how you want to work with. Then when you want to trigger this, we have environments, and then we have build steps, right? And then we have post build action. Post build action referring to once the job is built, email notification, editable email notification, build other projects. We will work on that going forward. Fine. Now I would like to start here description. And I would like to just give the description here as this is a simple job to test Jenkins. Okay, if everything is working fine or not. Apart from that, source code management, I will not want to take any of the code from any of the repositories, so I would like to keep it as none. And then you have options of triggers here. Triggers build remotely, build after other projects are built, build periodically, right? You have multiple options here. And then we have an option of environment also. All of this right now at this stage, very first project, it is not required. I would like to go with the build steps here. We have an option of add build steps. Or if you are going with the Linux or MacBook, then you can go with the execute shell. Right now, since I'm going with working with the Windows, I would like to click on execute Windows batch command. Okay, you can add anything here which you want to execute just to check. Maybe I'll say here echo, or maybe I'll do one thing. I will just check if the Java is installed. You can see we have added the Java, right? In the last video at the time of configuration, we have added the Java. I want to check if it is working fine or not. I want to just check the version of Java here. Fine, you can add more steps also if you want. I would like to just say here apply, and then I would like to save, and then it will redirect to this page here. And after which you can just click on build now. You have multiple options here. I would like to go and click on the build now. If I have to click here, you can see you can click on this, or you can just click on this option which we are getting here. It is build success right now. I would like to click on this. It will redirect to the console. You can see here Java -version. We are getting the version. That means job is working fine, right? So it is very simple job just to check if everything is fine or not. So if we are getting the output, if the build is successful, that means Jenkins which we have configured is working fine, right? Now if you want, you can just go through the dashboard. On the dashboard also you can see here whatever job we have, it is successful, and also you're getting the options of whether the last duration, other options. If you don't want all these things, you can decide what view you want, for which you just have to click on new view, and you can create your own view, and you can see whatever you want, right? Example, I don't want to see this weather, right? I don't want to see maybe last duration, anything. If you don't want, you can create your own view also. I would like to just click on this. We have an option of naming it. Maybe I would like to just give it as Java, whatever name you want, you can give. I would like to just give a click here, list view, and then I'll say here create. And you have an option here, what and all you want. Maybe I don't want weather, for example. I don't want the last duration, for example. I would like to, remove that. And then I'll say here apply, and I would like to just save this, and it is ready. Now right now nothing is there. Okay, we have an option here. You can either add some existing job, or you can create a new job for based on this view which we have created. I would like to add the existing job. I would like to click on this, and you can see we have an option here, Jenkins first job. I would like to click on this. I would like to apply and save. You can see view here is totally different. You can see all by default we were getting the weather also, we were getting the last duration also, and directly we have an option here to run the build which you have created, and or you can say run the job which you have created. I would like to go here Java. It's a new view which I have created, wherein I can decide what and all I want to see on the dashboard. Also, if you are wondering that what is that we have done, just checking the version, it is not just to check the version. We have created one simple job in order to test whatever we have configured with Jenkins, if everything is working fine or not. Now since everything is working fine, we have to proceed further. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Hyder Abbas, and in this video we will understand how to manage the plugins in Jenkins, or how to install or uninstall the plugins in Jenkins. Basically, plugins are some additional options or additional features which you want in your Jenkins to be there. For example, if you go with maybe new item, you can create a freestyle job pipeline and a multi-branch pipeline. You don't have an option of creating a Maven project directly here. If you want to do that, you may have to add that plugin. So plugins are basically additional feature which you want to have on the Jenkins. Example, you don't want this, maybe you want something else apart from that. Maybe there are option called as a green balls, you want something else here. So the whatever additional things which you want here on your Jenkins, you can add as a plugin. It's like just an additional feature. Now for that, you just have to go to the manage Jenkins, and here you'll have an option of plugins, add, remove, disable or enable plugins that can extend the functionality of the Jenkins. Very clear message here. And I would like to just go here, click here, and you have multiple options here. Updates referring to the existing plugins which are already added at the time of installing the Jenkins. We had added some plugins by default. Okay, all of them are present here. And if you want to update that, you have an option here. We have available plugins. That means these plugins you can directly add, or you can install these plugins into the Jenkins and start using. These plugins are available for you, right? And other than this, if you want to have something else, then you may have to install that and add as a plugin here. But these plugins directly you can install and start working with this. Install plugins. These are already installed plugins, and you can see here which you can use. Many of them are installed, but they are not enabled. Sometimes the plugins will be installed, but if you try to use that, you'll not be able to use because they are not enabled. You may have to come here and you may have to enable that. Fine, there is an option here, enable. And also there is an option to uninstall this. You can see uninstall this dark theme. Example, I don't want to use this dark theme plugin, I can uninstall. You can uninstall or disable, enable. All of these things can be done with the install plugin option. And we have advanced setting here. Basically, whenever you just install the Jenkins, you try to install any of the plugins and it is not working for you, in that case you can just come here because of the proxy issues, and you can update the details here and you can install. This is one of the alternative if you're not able to install the plugins with the available plugins option. Due to the proxy issues, you can come here and you can mention. Maybe we will try to use this also. Okay, now I would like to go to the available Jenkins. I want to install some of the plugins here. We have an option called as green balls. I think it is deprecated. Green bar referring to the job, the tick mark which you're getting, it will give you something, but right now it is deprecated. I would like to just go back and try with some other plugin. maybe I'll say here safe restart. You have one plugin here. Whenever you want to restart the Jenkins, you may have to go to this is a var file, right? We are just trying to access this with the localhost 8080. And maybe, whenever you want to, run this or you want to stop this, you may have to go to the command prompt and you may have to, run the commands. If you want to restart the Jenkins safely, you may have to go with this. I would like to click this, and we have multiple options here, right? And apart from that, I would like to just go back. There are multiple ways to, install this plugin. Here only, I would like to just go back and click on this install option. Okay, directly you have an option here, install. I would like to click this, and there is an option here, install, at the top right side, which you can notice here. I would like to click on this. Right now, it is pending. Safe restart, loading the plugin extensions. It will take some time and it will install. It will take some time, guys. After that, you will get the message here, success and success. The other exception in this we are getting, because I also tried to install this plugin with alternative way also, which I will also show you what is alternative way, because of which it is telling that safe restart plugin is already installed. Okay, so it will take some time. After some time, you will see here success, and after which, if you want to have these changes, then you may have to restart this entire Jenkins. However, I would like to just go back here to the dashboard, and you can see if I have to go back to maybe the build history, or maybe I would like to just go back to the manage Jenkins, and if I have to go back here, you will have an option here. You can see here directly we have an option, restart safely. This has been added because we have added that required plugins. Right now, I would like to just go back to the plugins again. If you want to uninstall any of the plugins, you have to go to the install plugin, right? And then you can just go with the safe restart. You have an option here, and I would like to just go back here. You can see here, uninstall this plugin. I would like to say here yes, it is uninstalling. It will take some time and that plugin will be uninstalled. If I have to just go back here again, you can see here, safe restart plugin uninstalling. It is still pending. It will take some time and it will be uninstalled. And if you want to see the changes, you may have to restart the plugin. Since it is a var file, if you want to restart this entire Jenkins, you may have to go back to the command prompt, and you just have to please type here Control C. Okay, Control C, and it will be restarted. If you want to again start the Jenkins, I would like to say here java-jar, and you may have to add this path, the same path where Jenkins is there, right? Earlier we have seen how to start the Jenkins. Same process you may have to follow. I would like to just hit this enter key. It will restart my entire Jenkins. But once after adding that plugin, you can just click also. But if you want to see the changes of after installing the Jenkins, always you have to restart the Jenkins for the first time. Okay, I would like to minimize this, and I would like to just close this, and I'll just refresh this. Okay, let me just go back to the dashboard. It will take some time. I have gone to the dashboard. I would like to just refresh. Okay, and then if I have to go to the manage Jenkins, and we have our plugins here, and if I have to go back to the install plugins, okay, let me just search here safe plugins, safe restart. It is not there, right? The first way we have already seen. Apart from that, there is one more alternative way to install, which is safe restart. Again, I would like to click this, and after which you have an option here. If you want, you can read the documentation. We have an option here called as releases. If you click the releases, you can choose the version you want to install. It is 2 years ago. Sometimes the newest one may have the compatibility issue. You can click any of this version. You can just click on this number. If you just click on this, it will install. It will just download in your local. Okay, you can find that in your download. Then what is the next you have to do is, after doing that, go back to your Jenkins, and we have an advanced setting option. Please click on that. And here we have an option called as choose file. You have to just click on this. After clicking, it will redirect to the downloads, and you can see we have here .hpi file. You just have to open that. Okay, and after which you have to just click on deploy. It will take some time and that will be installed. This is the option 2 of installing. Suppose if the option 1 is not working for you, this option you can see, you can see here, it is success. Now I would like to just go back to the install plugin, and you can search for safe restart. It is already there, and I would like to just go back to the dashboard, and again if I have to click on manage Jenkins, you can see here restart safely. Fine. If you want to see the impact of this, again, you may have to restart the plugins like the way I have already shown here. At the time of installing this plugin, I've shown you how to restore the entire Jenkins in the way if you restart, and this will be working. Like this way, you can install, uninstall, enable, disable whatever plugins you want based on the requirement. That gives the additional feature for your Jenkins. Fine. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will create another job wherein we will run our first Java program. Last time we just ran the job just to check the version of Java. You can check the version of Maven or anything else. In this video, we will try to run the job periodically also, and we will run our first Java application, for which, as you all know, I have to just click on new item, and I would like to give the name here as first Java job. Okay, whatever name you want, you can give Java job. Okay, a project or anything you can give. I would like to click on a freestyle project. Okay, and then I'll say here okay. You have to give the description here. I'll say here Java application running periodically, or Jenkins job which runs periodically. Okay, Java application, or I would like to give the name as Jenkins job, which is for the Java application, Jenkins job running periodically. Okay, let me just write this here, which is about the Java application. Whatever you want, you can give. That should not be a matter of concern. I'm not going to take the code from the source code management. We will see. Right now, I'd like to keep it as a none. And also there is an option here, triggers, right? So far in our first job which we have created, we have not clicked anything. Here, I would like to click on build periodically. I would like to just click on this. And now you can see you may have to write here. If you want to run this job every 1 minute, then you may have to write here cons. What is that if you ask me? Crons, which is 5 stars followed by each space. How do we identify what we may have to specify? You can please see here. Provides a crons like feature to periodically executes this job. You can read out this entire document, and to identify what to run here after the schedule, there is a question mark. If you just click on this, you can see here, example, if you want to run for a specific time, maybe if you want to run, you can see every 15 minutes, this is the command we have to write, right? Every 10 minutes, this is the command you have to write, right? Every 1 minute, for everything, the time has been mentioned here, you can follow that. And I don't want this right now. I would like to keep it. Again, if you click, that will go away. Again, I would like to click here. And you can see 5 stars followed by space I have given here. That means every 1 minute, this job will run now, right? Now, after which, environment, I know to give as of now. We have an option here called as build steps. Add the build step and execute the Windows batch command. Execute shell if you're going with the Mac. Right now we are going with the Windows. Execute Windows batch command. And here I would like to just run here. I'll say here Java C. Java C is usually used to compile the Java program. Java C. And I have created one Java program called as launch.java. I want my Java compiler to compile. And to run the Java application, after compiling, the command is Java name of the file, which is launch, right? And after which advanced, I don't want any other build steps here, and post build actions not needed for now. I would like to click on apply, and I would like to just save here. After saving, you can see here Jenkins job runs periodically, and it is failing as of now, because if I have to click here the reasons of failure, it'll ask you to give you multiple options here. I would like to click on console output, and you can see it is just telling that could not find or load main class launch. It is not able to find that. That means within this automatically it is checking in this particular workspace, and in this particular workspace we don't have any Java program by the name job. We will add it, but for now please kindly focus on this. Every 1 minute once, this build will automatically will trigger and run. Now it is right now 12:12 at the time of recording. It will take some time. You can see for 12:13 also one more time the build will run. That means this particular job will execute for every minute. So I would like to demonstrate here. Please wait till 12:13. As you can see here, it is 12:13. Again, the build is failing. The reason again is same, because we don't have a Java program there. You can open the console output. You can see I could not able to find this file. So what I'm going to do right now is on my desktop, I have already created one Java program, Java application. Okay, I would like to just copy that Java application or a Java program which I have already stored on my desktop and keep in the precise folder on which it is searching for. So I have just taken the Java program from there, and I would like to go to my C drive. You can see here, I'm going to my C drive. In the C drive, I may have to open the users. I will open the users, and then we have Najaf, and then we have Jenkins. Within the Jenkins, we have an option here called as, please see here, every one of you. After the Jenkins, it is the workspace I have to open. In the workspace, we have an option first Java job, and inside this, I would like to keep this Java file. After keeping it, I'll just get back and I'll just close this. If I have to show you, I'll again go back here, and you can see for 12:15 this job will run successfully. I would like to wait till 12:15. As you can see, guys, it is 12:15, and this time the job is successful. If I have to click on this, you can see the console output. You are compiling the Java program, and also you can see the output, hello aliens. It is simple Java program, but also in the process I have shown you how to run or how to create a Jenkins job for a Java application. The Java application could be basic or big. And later what we have done is we have tried to run this particular job which we have created for Java application periodically. Every 1 minute this will be executed. I hope I'm making sense here. You can see after 1 minute, one more time it will be executed, because you have specified that for 5 stars followed by space. That's the crons you have given there. That means for every 1 minute you want to run. You can decide whenever you want. I have given right now is for every 1 minute. Based on the reason, you can specify the crons and run your job which you are creating periodically. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will understand how to create a Jenkins job for a Maven project which is there in the GitHub repository. For which, first you may have to create a GitHub repository, add any of the Spring application, a Maven application there. I have added in my GitHub repository one Maven application. I'd like to copy my repository. I hope in the GitHub videos you have understood how to create a repository and how to add project into the repository. I have added one Spring web application into my GitHub repo, and the link I have copied. Great. Now I would like to go back to my Jenkins dashboard, wherein you have to first log in. After which, make sure that if you just go to the manage Jenkins, earlier we had already configured. If not, please do that again. Was the video which is already available in the dashboard, how to add the GitHub and the JDK setup here, right? We have already configured JDK and GitHub into our Jenkins, right? So I'll keep in mind that you have also done that. If not, the video is available wherein we have configured these things. I'll go back to my dashboard, after which I'll click on new item. Fine. And I'll give the name here as Spring Web. Okay. Web application. Spring MVC. I'll say MVC application. Any name you want, you can give. That should not be a matter of concern. I would like to create on freestyle project, and I'll say here okay. And now the project is ready. You can add any description here. I will be adding here as Spring Maven project. I'll say here job from the GitHub. I'll say a job from GitHub. Great. And I would like to click here as GitHub project. Earlier we have not done that. I would like to click here as GitHub project, and then I will paste my GitHub repository, right? And after which you can click here source code management. Earlier we had clicked none. Now I would like to go and click here as Git, and then you have to paste your GitHub repository here. And after which credentials are there, and you have to click on add. Once you click on add, you will get the option of Jenkins. Please click on that. And you can see here username of your Jenkins. Whatever username of your Jenkins, my username of Jenkins is Hyder Najafi. I have given that. Whatever you have given, please give. And you have to give the password of your Jenkins. So let me give my password here. After giving the password, I will give some ID here. Maybe I'll say here Jenkins. Okay. Whatever ID, Hyder admin. Okay. And the description I'll give it as Jenkins admin number 4. Whatever you want, you can give. Okay. I will have just given this, and then I'll click on add. And after adding, you will have an option here. You can see you will have an option here. Okay. Credentials. I would like to go and click here, and I would like to add this Jenkins admin 4. Description is there. I would like to add this. After adding that, right now it is there only in one branch. I have right now in the main branch. Depends whether your project is in the master or main. I would like to just go and just specify here it is in the main branch. Okay. You can specify master if your project is only in the master branch. Right now there is a main branch there, so I would like to specify main branch. After which triggers, as we have seen in the last class, if you can click on build periodically if you want this to be triggered every 1 minute. And also we have an option here as poll SCM. Poll SCM refers to any changes if you make in the repository. That means anyone makes any of the commit, then automatically the build will be executed again. Example, if I say 1 minute here, as we have seen, 5 stars means 1 minute. You can click on this and understand the cron expressions. 5 stars have given 1 minute. Now every 1 minute automatically the build will not be triggered. Now the build will trigger here if any commits are there, if anyone has made any changes in your repository, and it will just scan every 1 minute. If any changes are there, then the build will be triggered again and again. You can choose that. Right now I don't want to choose. If you want, you can keep it. That should not create any problem. After which environment we have here, and I would like to click on maybe delete the workspace before build start. If there is any target, I would like to build, delete that. So now build setup steps are there. Add the build steps. We have multiple options. Since it is a Maven project, I would like to click on invoke top level Maven target. So let me click on this, and I would like to specify all my goals. Clean. I want to clean it. Then I would like to just go here and say compile, and maybe I want to test, and later finally I want to package into the var file. Whatever the goals you want to achieve, you can specify here based on the need. And then I would like to click on the apply here. You can see I think we have configured everything which has to be configured, and I would like to click on apply, and I would like to just save this. After saving, if I just have to click on build now, the build should be started now. You can see build is started. If I have to click here and let me go to the console output, you can see it is started. So cloning the report, and you can see creating the all of this now testing, all the goals are getting executed, guys. Now it is executing the Spring application, and you can see here it is build success. And also the var file is present inside this workspace Spring MVC target, and the var file is generated. The build is successful. You can see here the build is success. Now since we have selected the poll SCM, if any commits have been made in the GitHub repository, automatically the build will be restarted. If I have to go back to my dashboard, you can see the build is success. And I would like to open this my drive, and you can see in the C drive users, I would like to click, and then my username, and followed by we have a Jenkins, and in the Jenkins we have workspace. And in the workspace, you can see whatever we had created. I think we had created Spring MVC application. If I have to, click on this, and you can see target. If I have to click on target, the var file is ready. That means our build is successfully. The packaging has been done. Package was the last Maven goal, and that is done. It is packaged to a var file. Now we could able to create a job for a Maven project which is there in the GitHub repository. We could able to get the project from the GitHub repository, and we could able to build the Jenkins job successfully for the Maven project. Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will understand about the Jenkins pipeline creation. So basically, to start with, if you look into the definition of a pipeline, it's a group of jobs, or you can say events, which are interlinked with each other in a sequence. That means group of multiple jobs getting executed with each other's dependency, with interconnection with each other, and which are executing one by one in a sequence is only called as Jenkins. So whenever we are working in environment deployment process, environment refers to we have a dev environment, QA environment, UAT environment, production environment. So let me just give you one pictorial representation here. As you can see in the diagram, for every environment, we'll be creating a Jenkins job to automate the deployment process. So first we will specify the dev job, which is our initial job. If dev job is successfully completed, then we will start the QA job. And then if QA job is successful, then we will start the UAT job. And if the UAT job is successful, then we will start the production job. So we are executing multiple jobs here in a sequence. This kind of concept is only called as, pipeline in Jenkins. So what happens here is, so when developer commits a code to the repository, immediately the build should start, the build should be triggered, and then the deployment process should start. And then for that we are going to create a job, and the job will take care of the collecting the code, compiling the code, testing the code, and then releasing the code, right? Each step is dependent on the other step, and this is continuous delivery pipeline. Fine. So in Jenkins pipeline, every job will have one sort of the dependency, at least on one or more jobs or events. If I start a pipeline, one job will execute first, then we will pull the code, compile the code, deploy the code, test the code, and release the code, right? Now each step will be dependent on others, and this is this entire process where we have multiple jobs executing, depends on each other, interlinked with each other together, is only called as pipeline in Jenkins. Fine. And we have different types of pipeline. Basically we have a build plugin pipeline, declarative pipeline, scriptlet pipeline. So basically we are going to work with the build plugin pipeline, which is easy. We just have to add one plugin and we have to go ahead. And apart from that, we have declarative and scripted pipeline. So basically there we use the Jenkins JSON file, and to create the pipelines and to execute the entire pipelines. But right now we will be going with the easier and convenient approach by installing one build plugin, which is easy to go ahead. So let me open now my Jenkins dashboard here, and if I open, you can see you have to log in. After logged in, go to the manage. This is your dashboard. Then you have to go to the manage Jenkins, and in the manage Jenkins, just go to the plugins here. If I have to go to the plugin, and I just have to go to the multiple options here: updates, available plugins, install plugins, advanced plugins. Go to the available plugin, and here if I have to go, I just have to search for one of the plugin here, which is build pipeline. So let me just search on build pipeline. Okay, we have this, and it's also suggesting that this pipeline is up for the adoption and we are looking for a new maintainer. If you want, you can go with this. Like this, so many plugins are there. So I would like to just click on this, and then I will say here install. Whenever you install any of the plugin, after you successfully install, make sure that you restart your entire Jenkins to make that plugin work effective for you. Okay, so I'm waiting for the installation. It is successfully installed. Now I will be restarting this Jenkins and keep it ready. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will understand how do we create the Jenkins pipeline, and we have understood what exactly the pipeline is. It's just that multiple jobs working together which are interlinked with each other. We just have to create multiple jobs here. Here to demonstrate the pipeline concept, I'll be creating the 2 jobs. You can create 3 jobs, 4 jobs, depends on the need. For which I'll be opening my Jenkins dashboard. I have logged into it, and I will just click on new item. And here I'll give the name of the first job as the dev job. Whatever name you want, you can give. I would like to click on freestyle job, and I'll say here okay, right? And after which I would like to just give the description like the way we have done earlier, how to create a job for a Maven project which is there in the GitHub repository. Similar to that, I'll be creating 2 jobs here. I'll say here this is dev job. Whatever description you want, you can give. That should not be a matter of concern. I would like to just give it as this is dev job. And it is a GitHub project, so you have to click on GitHub and you have to specify the repository. I would like to just go back here and get my GitHub repository. I hope you have some projects in your GitHub repo. You just add that here. I'll be adding this here. One Spring Boot application is what I have added here. After which, source code management, I would like to click on the Git, and I'll be adding my repository here. And credentials, I think last we have already created. I would like to click the same which we had created earlier. Credentials, how to add the Jenkins credentials. In the last video of Jenkins job for the Maven and Git, we have already seen it. And after which, right now I have only main branch. Depends on which branch you have, you can specify that here. And then triggers, I would like to click on poll SCM. That means every time there is a new commit into your repository, I want this build to trigger, right? That is our initial trigger. If you have to see here the diagram which I have explained, this is our initial job. And this job should start its work the moment if there is a new commit available, right? So I would like to just go back to my dashboard now, and I would like to just click on every minute. Please keep on checking. I'll give 5 stars. It is the cron expressions. And after which, environment, I would like to click on the delete the workspace before the build starts, and I would like to click on this. And after which, I would like to add the build steps, which are very, very important. And I would like to click here, invoke top level Maven targets, which we have seen already. And here the goals I'll specify. You have to compile. Okay, I would like to write here goal here. And the first goal is I would like to go with the clean, compile, test, and I would like to just write here as package. And after which I would like to just click on the apply and save. And you can see we have already, if I have to go back to my dashboard, we have one, job is ready. I would like to create one more job here. Okay, and name of the job, I'll give it as a QA job. You can create multiple jobs. Okay, you can create 3, 4, 5 jobs for this pipeline. I'll be going with the 2 jobs. You can create multiple for your, experiment. I would like to click on freestyle and say here, okay. And I would like to say here, this is QA job should be triggered. I'll say here triggered after the dev job. Okay, they should be, independent of each other. As you can see here, this job should be triggered only if the initial job, dev job, is successfully. That's how I have to configure here. I would like to go back to my dashboard and I'll say here GitHub project, and I would like to add the repository. I have added it. And Git, I would like to add the repository here, and the credentials I would like to add here. And then it is in the main branch, not there. I would like to just click on that. And then it triggers. Earlier I had gone with the poll SCM. That means every time there is a new commit in the repository, the build has to be triggered. Right now it is not poll SCM because right now I'm creating a QA job, and QA job should be triggered if the dev job is successful. Here multiple jobs are working interlinked with each other. It is a pipeline, right? Wherein multiple jobs should be executed which are dependent, or you can say interlinked with each other. So if dev job is successful, only then this has to be triggered. So I would like to click here as build after other projects are built. I would like to click on this. Which are the other projects to watch with? I would like to go with dev job. After this, I want to trigger this, right? So I have clicked on this, and after which the environment, delete the workspace. This is common. And the build steps, I would like to add the maybe top level Maven targets. Again, the goal is very simple. It is clean, compile. I would like to go with the test and package. Okay, test and package. I would like to click on apply, and I would like to save it. After which I would like to go to my dashboard, my dear friends. We have 2 jobs here. Dev job is there, QA job is there. Now, after which we have some views here. Earlier also we have understood about the view. If you click on the new view here, you have one more option called as build pipeline view, because we had installed one plugin in the very first video of Jenkins job creation introduction. And because of that plugin, we are getting this option. If not, you will not be getting this option here. So now I would like to click on this. The moment you click on this, I would like to, give any name. Coming to the name, I would like to give it as maybe dev QA pipeline. Whatever name you want, you can give. This is the name I have given it. And I would like to click on create. And you have to configure a few things. First thing is description. It is asking, I'll say here, this pipeline, whatever you want, you can give. Pipeline is to deploy or to run our jobs for. This pipeline is for, dev and QA environment. Okay. Or whatever you want to say, dev and QA jobs. It's up to you what description you would like to give here. After which we have an option here, build a pipeline view title. And then we have an option here, whatever you want. If you want to give some, a title, you can give here. And you can see here, select the initial job. And as per the diagram which we have here, you can see the first initial job is the dev job. The other job should be triggered if the other jobs are the before whatever job we had. If they are successful, only then the other job should be triggered here. They should be running in sequential. Multiple jobs running or executing in sequential manner is only called as a pipeline in simplified term. So I would like to just specify what is my initial job here, which is our dev job. After which we have a trigger option here, which is the build cards. Let it be standard build cards. And now number of displays build, how much ever you want, you can specify. Right now I'll say here 5 jobs. Right now we are going to execute 2 builds in this particular pipeline. just in case if you want more, you can specify this number. It depends on the need, you can specify that. And after which row header, what and all you want, it's just the pipeline number. No, I want to have all the build variables and parameters. That is what I want to see. And column headers, I want to have all the variable, all the build variables and parameters, everything to be displayed. And after which I would like to just click on maybe apply and save. And then you can see we have an option here. We have two. This is the entire pipeline, and this is successful already. And after this is successful, only then this will be executed. Now let me run this entire pipeline here. If I run this entire pipeline, you can see here the other job will not be executed unless and until the first job is successful. So you can see here it is executing. It will take some time. The first job will be executed, the pipeline number 2. And once this is executed, the other build should be running here. Fine. So it is executing. And now after this is executing, the second job also should be triggered. It is taking some time. I would like to just cross check if we have configured properly or not, because if other job is not running successfully, the trigger is not working. As simple as that, because it is awaiting the execution. And I have told after running the dev job, automatically the QA job should be triggered. If there is some problem, I have to check what is the problem with respect to the QA job, why it is not executing. It is awaiting the execution. Let's wait here, or else I would like to just do some configuration, because the QA job should be triggered immediately after the dev job is executed. Okay, so let me just go back to my dashboard here. And if I have to go to my QA job, it is executing, I guess. It is in progress. Okay, because I have told it should be executed immediately. If I have to go to dev and QA job, I think it is executing. You can see guys, QA job is also executed here. And here also QA job will be executed. And QA will be executed only after the dev job is successful. And initial job in this entire pipeline will be triggered. The moment you make any commit, automatically dev job will be triggered. And just in case if the dev job is successful, only then the QA job will be triggered. And QA job will not be triggered if it is any problem in the dev job here. So here there are two jobs working in sequential manner, one after the other, right? With interlinks, that is only called as a pipeline. And we could able to create a pipeline with two jobs here. You can try with 3 or 4 jobs, and you can specify what are the triggers here. And this is all about pipeline in Jenkins.